Hakeem, the Dream Olajuwon. Let me explain why. Hakeem Olajuwon, in my eyes, pound for pound, most skilled big man ever to play the game. Hakeem could give you everything you want. He had the best footwork of any big I've ever seen in my life. He was a great all NBA caliber defender. I think he got 2 defensive player of the years. He got 2 MVPs, I believe, and he got 2 rings. He was one of the select few stars to win a ring in Jordan's era. I don't know if you, Jordan wasn't playing. He won the rings. I don't care what y'all say. So I'm gonna just start with number 1, Michael Jordan, MJ, the GOAT. I mean, come on now. This guy was a mythical being on a basketball court. The way people talk about him, the way the stories are, you would think he wasn't even a human. This they talk about, oh my gosh, he has the killer instinct. He is like a different type of aura. I'm like, someone said, who was it that said that you thought he was Black Jesus? Who said that? I can't even remember. But Michael Jordan is just the GOAT, man. 6 rings, like you said, 11 scoring titles.
10, I think.
10.
Yeah,
10 scoring titles. He had an 11-year peak, won 2 3-peats. Let's not forget that, with the same team. Yeah. That's what really puts it, like, he was able to do all of that with the same team. Yes, he took a break. He retired for a couple years or so.
It was like a year and a half.
Yeah, like a year and a half, but Jordan, he was just a phenomenal career, man. Really phenomenal. We'll never see anything like that again. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. We're never seeing another Jordan or LeBron type player come into the league and dominate at that level. It's just way too much parity in the current NBA. Number 2, I know people say I be hating on him a lot, but I'm realistic at the end of the day. LeBron James is the second best player to ever pick up a basketball, in my opinion. I mean, it's not even close in my eyes. Like, LeBron James, even though you could say I'm a hater of LeBron, I'm not a hater, but this dude, for my whole entire life, he has been the guy. And I'm 24 years old. It is ridiculous. I've seen this man go to 8 straight finals and win, 3 rings? Yeah, 3 rings during that stretch, which isn't I know people say, oh, he only won so many, but like, you know how hard it is to go to that many finals back to back years, and you have to play a team like Golden State, who was an all-time team, and then you beat them in 2016, come back down 3-1. People say, oh, it was rigged. That okay, you could argue that, but like, the fact remains, he came back down 3-1 in 2016. Like, that is some legendary stuff right there. You could argue he should have more MVPs. He only has 4 in his 20-something year career. You could argue he should get more. I know people want to rag on him because the Maverick series, which I do, like Aaron said, think is like the separator between him and Jordan, is that Mav series was just so bad. It just kind of it's a blemish on your legacy, I'll admit. But other than that, he's been really good in the finals. There hasn't been a single finals where you was like, this isn't the best player in the world, or this isn't the best player in the series.
07, but again, we know context matters.
I said after that.
Oh, okay. All right. My fault.
After that, it wasn't any type of debate on whether he was the best player on the court. Even people try to say, 2020 should have been AD's finals MVP. LeBron just does way too much for the team as far as playmaking, scoring, and as ball handling. It's just, I don't think that's a valid argument. We're gonna skip to number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What can I say? He was an all-time leading scorer for I don't know how long. We didn't even know if that was even gonna be broken until recently, when LeBron broke it a few years ago. I think that was 22, 23, something like
23.
that.
23.
Yeah, 23. And I mean, the level of dominance he had, like you said, Aaron said, like a 15-year prime. And even when he was toward his later half of his career, he was still putting up decent numbers in my eyes. So yeah, I'm gonna go Kareem at 3. The man has just had such longevity, such a long career. Played in the 70s. He almost played in 3 decades of basketball, and he was still a dominating force with MVP caliber player for over a decade. So that type of dominance is just ridiculous. Great defense. Well, he was athletic. Had an unstoppable move. He literally had the first unstoppable move in NBA history, which was the sky hook. And people to this day still cannot replicate the success of that move. That's just how skilled he was as a scorer. Like as a big man to lead the league, lead the NBA history in points for so long as a big through multiple man. That's a feat. That's a feat in itself. 4. See, 4 it's a bit tricky for me. I'm gonna go Kobe Bryant though. I'm gonna go Kobe. I'm gonna go Kobe at 4. I'm gonna go Kobe at 4 because Kobe Bryant is to me like obviously he's widely regarded as Baby Jordan.
Yeah.
But Kobe Bryant just had a different type of tenacity on the court. Different type of mentality. Yes, like there's a distinction between the Jordan mentality and Kobe mentality. Kobe just wanted to. I think Kobe was a different type of psychopath than Mike was, because Kobe just work. He would kill himself in the gym, and the results would show off on the court. I know people try to get on him from them early years with Shaq when he wasn't even the best player on the team, but like the Lakers don't win those rings without Kobe. Let's get that out the way. Because there was moments when Shaq was looking shaky and Kobe had to step up and take over, especially in the fourth quarter.
Game 7.
And Kobe, even when Shaq was the number one dude, everyone knew when the time came, the ball is going to Kobe. He's going to take that last shot. And he was a great defender as well. He took pride in his defense, which I loved. And even through injuries through a later career, he still came back and was still a good player. Even after that Achilles tear back in what year was that, Aaron? You should know.
13.
13. He was still really good that next year. Like he was still Kobe Bryant. And the man almost three-peated a second time. Man, stop playing with Kobe Bryant. I know it's kind of people try to like saying, oh, he's a shot chucker. He wasn't efficient. Who was going to shoot the ball for the Lakers?
That's facts.
Name me one shot creator, a real scorer that the Lakers had outside of Kobe Bryant through his career. Most people can't. I don't think anybody really can. So yes, Kobe Bryant had to take those shots because he was the only person who was going to come out there and drop 25 plus a night. It's just what it is. Kobe is at 4 for me. At number 5, I'm going Tim Duncan.
Oh, sure.
Tim Duncan, man, he's just the prototype big. Like he big fundamental. He got everything you need. He got a turnaround. He got a fadeaway. Plays good defense. Knows what he's a smart player as well. That was under the tutelage of Greg Pop for his whole career, so he was never not in the fray until like after like 07 or so as one of the best players in the world at the time. He won 5 rings, and it's just the man was just good in pretty much 3 decades of basketball, which is crazy. But Tim Duncan, he deserves that respect at 5. I think a lot of people, especially our age, me and Aaron's age, underrate Tim Duncan as a player. And that's why I do on the show on what's that? Is it Player's Choice? He was like, you have no idea how good Tim Duncan is.
Old head,
chill. The old head. So yes, people got to give Tim Duncan some respect. Now here's where things get a little interesting, because here's a player for me that's on my top 10 that wasn't on yours. My top, so I'm at 6. I'm going to Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem, the dream Olajuwon. Let me explain why. Hakeem Olajuwon, in my eyes, pound for pound, most skilled big man ever to play the game. Yeah. Hakeem could give you everything you want. He had the best footwork of any big I've ever seen in my life. He was a great all NBA caliber defender. I think he got 2 defensive player of the years. He got 2 MVPs, I believe, and he got 2 rings. He was one of the select few stars to win a ring in Jordan's era. I don't know people. Oh, Jordan wasn't playing. He won the rings. I don't care what y'all say. There was very few teams in the 90s that ever won a championship. He won 2 of them. Okay. So that should let you know how good Hakeem was. If as soon as Jordan had to step away from the game, he immediately took over and won 2 rings. Hakeem Olajuwon was like that, man. I think people got to give him a lot more credit. Players to this day still be trying to get work from him, trying to get their feet right. As well, bigs try to get go to and work on his footwork. I got Hakeem at 6, man. I really like Hakeem's game. I think he gets a lot. He deserves a lot more credit than what he gets for what he has done. He was, I believe, he had. I got the stats pulled up right here. Matter of fact, Hakeem Olajuwon. Where is he? There we go. Hakeem Olajuwon. 9 all defensive team selections, 3 times block champ, 2 times defensive player of the year, 2 times finals MVP. And he won MVP in 93, 94. Hakeem was like that. 7. I'm on 7, correct. Yeah, I am on 7. Yeah, 7, I'm going Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, in my eyes, number one point guard of all time. Like Aaron said, Aaron said pretty much the whole story for a lot of these players, but I'm gonna just piggyback. Underrated scorer, best passer to ever touch a basketball. And the fact that he was 6'9" and was able to move so fluently and fluid on offensive. And I know his defense wasn't the best, but his size absolutely made up for him being able to guard multiple positions, which made him a versatile defender, but not really necessarily a dominant defender. So I'm gonna go Magic at 7. He won a whole lot, was best player in the league, even when Jordan was hitting his prime. He still was winning MVPs and was guarded as best in the world. So you got to give Magic that respect because it took until the 90s for Jordan like snatch it from him. Like Jordan had to snatch that crown off Magic as the best player in the league. So we got to give Magic that respect. I got him at 7. My eighth spot is Shaq. I'm going Shaq at 8 because I was kind of contemplating with Shaq because Shaq was probably the most dominant big we've ever seen. Next outside him and Wilt Chamberlain, the most dominant stretch as a big player we've ever seen. My only knock on Shaq was that he didn't take care of his body as much as he probably should. That's why Kobe kept getting on him about always coming into the season overweight and out of shape and all of that stuff. But Shaq was still getting his for over a decade. He was still going to eat for over a decade. My only thing with Shaq, the only knock I have on Shaq, honestly, is the fact that he didn't win outside of being attached to
Dwayne Wade and Kobe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which were like top 5 players at the time when they won. So that's my only knock on Shaq. But Shaq he still deserves that respect. I used to have Shaq higher on my list, but until now I got older, got some more context about the era, got to do some more research. I put him at 8. 9 is Steph the Chef Curry. Steph Curry, he's my favorite outside of Jordan. He's my favorite basketball player of all time. Steph Curry he just has a great story, man. He was undersized coming out of Davidson. People didn't know if his game was going to super translate to where he was in his peak. People didn't even know if he was going to pan out that well. They had Monty Ellis getting more burn over him at some point. And then Steph had to just come in and revitalize that whole Warriors organization. The Warriors wasn't even valued at $1 billion before Steph came into the league. They are one of the most valued franchises in sports. That is the impact of Stephen Curry. He made so many players money. He made so many players around him better. He won 4 rings, and LeBron James was in the league with him. I knew he had better teams than LeBron. That is true. That is true. But at the end of the day, once you get to that stage, you got to get it done. And Steph got it done. So that's why, and best shooter ever, hands down, off the dribble, pull up, spot up, didn't matter. It's money. Some of the most crazy highlights and circus shots you'll ever see. People get on him for not being clutch per se. But most of the times, he was putting teams away before it could even get to a clutch moment. So you got to, man, Steph Curry, man, second best point guard to ever play the game. We'll never see another Steph Curry as far as shooting ability and the amount of times he was winning at what the size he is. And him being the Warrior system for so long and it's still working to this day. Because we saw what happened when he got hurt in that series against the Rockets. A series against the Timberwolves. It was over for him. So we got to give Steph Curry that respect. And number 10 on my list, I'm going with Larry, the Legend Bird. Larry Legend, coldest, this may be controversial, coldest white boy to ever step on the basketball court. That man would give you he got offended when you put another white dude to guard him. That's how good he was. And I know him and Magic had wars, Celtics, Lakers wars over all them years. And Larry Bird, unfortunately, didn't have the longest prime because his back issues and all of that. But Larry Bird could give you everything you want. He has some of this. Look at some Larry Bird highlights, or even look at some game. Some of the things he's doing back then would absolutely work in the league in today's game. Like he's hitting turnaround. He oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Larry Bird was an underrated passer as well. Very underrated as a passer. And he also had he was a smart defensive player as well. So that's what also in all this top 10 list, to me, what mattered to most is I believe every single one of these players would have gotten their game off in any era of basketball you drop them in. Point blank, period. And that's what it's all about for me. These players, I believe, are transcendental to the game, and they would have done well no matter what era or time period you drop them in. So just to recap, 1 is Jordan, 2 is Bron, 3 is Kareem, 4 is Kobe, 5 Timmy, 6 Hakeem, 7 Magic, 8 Shaq, 9 Curry, 10 Bird. That's my top 10 list.